want to know what's changing the hardscape game right now? Sausage tube adhesive. Let's dive into the details on why. All right, I'm out here building a freestanding seat wall utilizing retaining wall block. And then to get this thing to stand the test of time, we're gonna be adhering every course as we build it up with a brick and block adhesive. So to do that, we brought in the expert in Josh from SEK Surebond. He's gonna share some tips and tricks with us to set us up for success when we're putting together a wall like this. So we're using sausage tubes today, right? I'm just gonna say it. This is a sausage gun,
Yep.
right? This is the gun we have to have. I think traditionally, you know, guys are used to seeing things like this,
Yep.
which is totally fine. This is the waste we're putting into the landfill.
That's it.
If that's one reason right there, I love it.
Yep.
Here's another one, boom.
We're gonna pull it back. At this point, you can do one or both, right? I'm gonna keep this open. Okay, just pop that in there. You just take a regular knife, box cutter. All you have to do, poke a hole, just like that. Give it a couple of pumps. Once you feel it connect, good to go.
All right, awesome. Let's start gluing up this seat wall, man. I'm using a product by Unilock here, Josh, that requires us to have these straw spacers in there, right? So there's gonna be a little bit of different way that we do that. So here's the traditional bead. I just wanna show everyone. That's a traditional bead. We put down two 3/8 inch wide beads, traditional retaining wall block. The reason I'm pointing this out is because this is a specific product and Unilock recommends that we glob this up. Glob, 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 right? That way they know that I'm adhering the two units together, right?
Yep.
And you feel comfortable with this application?
Yeah, traditionally, like I said, we kind of stay away from this, but with this system, as you see, we have joints, but we also have space on top and on the bottom for airflow.
Then I'm gonna, when I'm done putting my globs down, I'm gonna release that air.
Yep.
Maybe pull that back a little bit. Get that to set, and then I might even, I feel that grabbing, but I might even pick it up a little bit.
See if you have to add.
Yeah, so I can feel those globs grabbing. I'm gonna get that set. This one here. All right, yeah. Now with these as well, you're gonna put these spacers in there. And then obviously I have all my seams staggered. The reason I wanna show guys the beads is because the only time we would ever glob this up is when we're using a Unilock Lineo wall.
This system.
Right, so we'll get down there, we'll do some coping on my retaining wall, but this type of system, and my tip and trick is whenever you're gluing anything, don't let it come out the face of the block, right? I like how it feels with the glob. I can feel it catch a little more.
So again, this gun is specifically designed to incorporate our 20-ounce sausage tubes, but there also are a couple nice add-ons. So the applicator plunger here, if you remove this top screw, the white plunger will come off. And if you want to squeeze a 10-ounce tube out of this gun, it will actually fit in there. All you have to do is remove the tip on the gun. So for packaging, what we're looking at, you have 20-ounce tubes, so each case is 400 ounces of glue. And then in each case, you are gonna have 4 additional tips that come with it.
Now over here, Josh, we have a traditional retaining wall, right? I mean, so we built this straight up and we glued every course, but now I'm getting to this coping and I have this side over here and this one are all dry fit and cut already. So we're not gonna create a dam with 2 beads right here. We're gonna open that up and we're gonna put our beads at an angle like this, and then we're gonna leave gaps in between there to get that water to run through there and not be trapped like a dam.
Yep.
Let's pick this off of here and then I want you to show me how you would put the beads on here because you opened my mind up to something for sure, man. You show me because I know you're gonna make them perfect. You're gonna make them perfect.
You're good. So the nice thing about the sausage gun, very pressure sensitive, right? So you can go slower and get that nice bead. Again, I'm gonna stay a little bit out from the edge.
Perfect. What I want to point out is the amount of glue here, right?
Yep.
And that's going to be suffice though for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
So again, it's our job to sell glue, and a lot of times I'm telling guys, use less glue.
Right.
So
right there we know we're dealing with a good rep, right?
Right.
One who is in it for the success of our project more than anything, right? And once again, I have these dry fit, they're already cut. I like to dry fit everything because otherwise if I glue it, it's there to stay, right? So let's get this one back on there, Ty. Looks like we got rain coming here. Let's see if we can get this last one down.
It does work on wet block. We don't want to necessarily be applying it in the rain, but if the block is damp, that is fine.
A big thing for me is the fall, right? I come out here in the morning and there's frost on stuff.
Good to go.
Good to go.
So
I love
wet
it.
and frozen block. SB-15 works on wet and frozen block. Not every glue does.
Okay,
so
sure.
Understanding, reading the bag, reading the instructions, right? This is something we preach all the time.
The same thing as polymeric sand. When we're opening up any tube of adhesive, let's read those instructions. He just pointed out that all adhesives are not created equal, meaning they all cannot be used in the same climate, the same conditions. I love it. We got a lot of young hardscapers out there, Josh, and they're using adhesives for the first time. They're using polymeric sands for the first time, and we want them to be successful right off the bat. Otherwise, they're not going to want to be a hardscaper.
Correct. I think the easiest thing to do for your employees is have some consistency with the products that you use.
I love that too, because there's the thing, reading the bags of sand. When Greg was out here, we talked about the guy just grabs a random bag from the shop. So consistency with polymeric sand, consistency with adhesives. I'm not going to say consistency with pavers because we're always mixing up the tones, textures, patterns, and shapes. But when it comes to these products that we're putting things together with, keeping them cohesive within your business, I love that. That's a great tip, man, for sure.
Yep.
I feel like guys are just running and grabbing whatever's available, but then the directions are different.
Yep.
For sure. Let's get this one glued. I've been doing this for 25 years, man.
Yep.
And when anything like this, progressive in the industry, I will make the switch if it's easier for my crew and better for my projects.
And arguably, I think we're about the last industry to embrace this type of packaging.
Right, meaning like home builders,
there's
carpenters.
different industries that have been doing this for 15 years.
Sure, yeah. So let's get the sausage tubes into hardscaping where they need to be.
We're going.
I love it. So we gave you a few tips and tricks out here, but to dive into that full tutorial on the website, check out hardscapementor.com.